The U.S. House of Representatives has approved an aid package to Ukraine as well as sanctions against Russia. Washington will now give Kiev a $1 billion loan as well as pumping more money into what it calls democracy-promoting NGOs. And for more on that, let's now talk to William Engdahl, author of Full Spectrum Dominance. Mr. Engdahl, welcome to RT. So actually, Washington is offering Ukraine a $1 billion loan. Do you think it's a drop in the ocean compared to what Ukraine really needs? And do you think it's a good deal for Ukraine?
Well, if you look at the details of what they're not offering even a loan of $1 billion. They're offering a loan guarantee. And the cost of that loan guarantee is that Ukraine submit to the IMF austerity like Greece did, and that will simply open their economy to the final rape and plunder from the West. But the other point about this is the debt of Ukraine that comes due this year is a staggering amount. I believe it's some $35 billion that has to be rolled over. And $1 billion loan guarantee, it's hard to know who's more stupid in this piece of legislation. The United States congressmen who voted for this, or the people or the non-elected government of Ukraine if they accept this, because it's simply a no-brainer on all sides.
Sure, and also the bill gives more power to America's so-called democracy promoting NGOs. Are those the same NGOs that reportedly helped topple the democratically elected government there in Ukraine several weeks ago?
Of course. Yeah, of course they are. They're the National Endowment for Democracy, Freedom House, no doubt the Open Society Foundations of George Soros, who always seem to be paired up with those organizations. John McCain is the chairman of the NED's International Republican Institute. He has been on the front row of every regime stabilization in recent years. So these are not democracy-promoting NGOs. These are coup d'etat NGOs who are doing what the CIA used to do, only through private agencies that are backed up by the U.S. government. So this is not anything good for Ukraine. Ukraine doesn't need this nonsense. It's interference in the domestic affairs of a sovereign country. But since when has Washington, or at least the Congress, been concerned about that?
So according to you, they're not going to promote democracy, but how exactly are these NGOs going to influence political life in Ukraine?
Well, as you pointed out, the NGOs prepared the way for the last several years, well before the decision not to join the EU Confederation Agreement by the Yanukovych government last November. They have been preparing to oust the Moscow-leaning Yanukovych, a duly elected, fairly elected president of Ukraine, and create the incident. Using canvas operatives from Belgrade, financed by the U.S. taxpayer money, to train activists that assembled in Maidan Square and create the movement that shapes exactly what the government will or will not be able to do. And to do more of that for Ukraine, I think Ukraine needs a little break from all of this. They need a break from NATO intervention. NATO already is the cause of this coup d'etat on February 22nd that has created this disaster and brought 5 members of the new government who are identified as members of Svoboda, the neo-Nazi connected party that has killed innocent civilians, that's brutalized police and created the incidents of violence that led to the coup d'etat. So this is not democracy. This is about raw power politics and geopolitics.
All right. William Engdahl, author of Full Spectrum Dominance, thank you very much indeed for your time and sharing your views with us.